Hello friends, how are you? Welcome back to USA Digital Old Coins, the channel where ordinary-looking coins tell real extraordinary stories. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter dollars, exploring their history, unusual mint errors, rare varieties, different color and surface appearances, and the coins that collectors and investors are watching closely. Could a quarter sitting in your pocket or an old coin jar be worth more than its 25-cent face value? Sometimes the answer is yes, but the big money usually comes from genuine mint errors, unusual varieties, exceptional condition, or authenticated rarities, not simply from an old or dirty coin. And today, we're focusing on 3 dates and mint marks that collectors should know: 2000 P, 2001 D, and 2015 D state quarters. Before you spend that old quarter, stick around and check it carefully, because you might be looking at something much more interesting than pocket change. Number 1, the 2000 P state quarter. The year 2000 is especially fascinating because it produced some remarkable state quarter errors. One of the most famous modern U.S. mint errors is the 2000 P Sacagawea dollar/state quarter mule. It combines a Washington quarter obverse with a Sacagawea dollar reverse and was struck on a dollar planchet. PCGS identifies this as one of the best-known and most valuable mule errors in modern U.S. coinage. But here's the important warning. Not every 2000 P quarter is rare. Most ordinary circulated state quarters are worth around face value. What you want to look for are genuine mint errors, unusual planchets, major striking problems, or exceptional certified condition. NGC has documented examples of state quarters struck on incorrect planchets and other significant errors. So if you have a 2000 P, don't clean it or throw it away. Examine it carefully. Number 2, the 2001 D state quarter. Next is the 2001 D state quarter. The Denver Mint produced enormous quantities of these coins, so an ordinary circulated example generally isn't a fortune. For example, NGC's current guide shows a circulated 2001 D New York quarter at only a modest premium over face value, while pristine high-grade examples can bring substantially more. The real attraction is condition and errors. Look closely at the lettering, date, state design, rims, and overall strike. Some 2001 state quarter errors include missing clad layers and other mint-made abnormalities. And remember, a strange-looking color doesn't automatically mean silver or gold. A quarter that appears copper-colored could have a genuine mint-related problem, but it could also have been damaged, chemically altered, or plated after leaving the mint. Number 3, the 2015 D state quarter. And now we come to the 2015 D state quarter. With modern quarters, condition becomes extremely important. A coin that has been heavily circulated, scratched, cleaned, or damaged usually won't command a major premium simply because of its date and mint mark. Instead, collectors should look for dramatic and verifiable mint errors, strong varieties, and exceptional uncirculated grades. So when you find a 2015 D quarter, don't just look at the date. Check the mint mark, lettering, design details, rim, edge, strike, and surfaces under good lighting and, if possible, with magnification. The golden rule for coin collectors. Here's the most important rule of all. Never clean a potentially valuable coin. That shiny appearance you create by polishing can actually reduce a coin's collector value. And don't assume that every discolored, silver-looking, gold-looking, or copper-colored quarter is rare. Color can come from toning, environmental exposure, plating, or damage. The most valuable discoveries are usually identified by specific diagnostics, and, for major rarities, professional authentication. So check those old coin jars, drawers, collections, and rolls carefully. Your next quarter could have a story, and possibly a surprising collector value. If you enjoy discovering rare U.S. coins, unusual mint errors, and hidden treasures, subscribe to USA Digital Old Coins, turn on notifications, and join us for the next coin hunt. Thanks for watching, and remember, before you spend that old coin, check it first. First coin. Welcome back to USA Digital Old Coins, where every old coin has a story, and sometimes the smallest piece of metal can hide a discovery that leaves collectors completely stunned. Today, we are looking at a coin that millions of Americans have seen touched, spent, and probably ignored, the 2000p state quarter. But before you get excited, let me make one thing absolutely clear. A normal 2000p state quarter is not automatically a silver coin, and it is not automatically worth millions of dollars. The real excitement comes when an ordinary-looking quarter has something genuinely unusual about it. The 2000p quarter was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and the P on the coin is the mint mark that tells us where it was made. These quarters belong to the famous state quarters program, which changed American pocket change forever by placing different state designs on the reverse of the quarter. The first thing you should understand is that most circulated 2000p state quarters are worth only around their face value, with higher prices possible for exceptional condition or legitimate errors. So if somebody tells you that every 2000p quarter is $1 million coin, stop and examine the claim carefully. Now here's where the story becomes fascinating. There are genuine 2000 dated mint errors connected with a quarter and the newly introduced Sacagawea dollar. One of the most spectacular errors is known as a mule, a coin created when two dies that were never supposed to be paired are accidentally used together. The famous 2000p Sacagawea dollar mule carries a Washington quarter obverse combined with the reverse intended for a Sacagawea dollar. This is an extraordinary minting mistake, and authenticated examples have sold for enormous amounts. But remember the crucial detail. That famous rarity is not simply an ordinary 2000p state quarter. It is a completely different and extremely rare error. So what about the silver-looking 2000p quarter you may have found? Be careful. A normal Philadelphia circulation state quarter was not struck in silver. The U.S. Mint did produce special silver-proof state quarters, but those are different from ordinary P-Mint circulation coins. A coin that looks silver, dark, golden, brown, black, or unusually shiny does not automatically contain precious metal. Color can come from natural toning, environmental exposure, chemical reactions, cleaning, or damage. In other words, never decide that a coin is rare simply because its color looks strange. And now comes the most important part. If your 2000p quarter is dirty, scratched, dark, or covered with grime, do not rush to clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector appeal. Instead, examine the coin exactly as you found it. Look carefully at the date, the P-Mint mark, the edge, the lettering, the design, and both sides of the coin. Compare unusual features with known mint errors, rather than believing a dramatic internet price claim. You may hear stories claiming that a 2000p quarter is worth $5 million, $10 million, or enough to make somebody a billionaire overnight. Those claims should immediately make you suspicious. A coin's value comes from rarity, authenticity, condition, demand, and documented sales, not from a sensational number written in a video title. Even the famous 2000 mule error, which is genuinely one of the great modern U.S. coin errors, has a documented history of major sales rather than an automatic $1 million price for every example. So what is the value of your 2000p state quarter today? If it is a normal circulated coin, the answer may be very close to 25 cents. If it is in exceptional uncirculated condition, its value can rise substantially. And if it turns out to be a genuine major mint error, the situation can change dramatically. That is why identification comes before valuation. Here is your challenge. Take that old 2000p quarter out of the drawer. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not scratch it. Look at it under good light and inspect every detail. If something appears genuinely different from a normal quarter, have the coin examined by a reputable professional or authentication service before believing any huge valuation. The shocking truth is not that every 2000p quarter is a hidden $1 million fortune. The shocking truth is that a small number of extraordinary mint errors can be worth astonishing amounts, while millions of ordinary examples remain ordinary. That difference is exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting. So before you spend that old 2000p quarter, look twice. Your coin may be ordinary pocket change, or it may contain a genuine story from the U.S. Mint that collectors have been searching for. Remember, never trust the headline alone. Check the coin, verify the error, confirm condition, and only then ask the most important question of all, what is this coin really worth? This is USA Digital Old Coins. Keep searching, Keep learning, and never underestimate the coin hiding at the bottom of your old jar, because sometimes the smallest discovery can tell the biggest story. Next up, second coin. Welcome back to USA Digital Old Coins. What a coin in your hand may look ordinary, but its history can be absolutely extraordinary. Today, we are looking at the 2001 D State Quarter, a coin that has created enormous excitement among collectors because certain examples can become valuable when they have exceptional condition, genuine mint errors, or unusual characteristics. But before we begin, remember one important truth. Not every 2001 D quarter is a silver coin, and not every 2001 D quarter is worth thousands or millions. The real treasure is in knowing exactly what you have. The letter D on the obverse of the quarter is the mint mark. It tells us that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In 2001, the United States continued its hugely popular 50 state quarters program, and 5 different state designs appeared during the year. These represented New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Kentucky. Millions upon millions of these quarters enter American circulation, which means an ordinary circulated 2001 D quarter is generally common today. Now listen carefully, because this is where many coin videos get confusing. A normal 2001 D circulation quarter is made from copper-nickel-clad material, not 90% silver. The special silver state quarters were produced at San Francisco with an S mint mark as collector proofs. The 2001 silver proofs were made from 90% silver, but a regular D-mint circulation quarter should not be mistaken for one simply because it looks bright, gray, shiny, or silver colored. So if you have a dirty 2001 D quarter that looks strange, don't immediately assume you have discovered a silver fortune. Dirt, discoloration, toning, chemical exposure, and damage can dramatically change a coin's appearance without making it rare. In fact, a coin that looks golden, dark brown, copper-colored, or unusually gray may simply have experienced environmental changes after leaving the mint. But there is something much more exciting to search for: a genuine mint error. A mint error is fundamentally different from ordinary damage. It happens during the manufacturing process, before the coin reaches the public. Imagine a quarter being struck while something goes wrong inside the press. Perhaps the blank is positioned incorrectly. Perhaps part of the metal fails to receive the normal outer layer. Perhaps another planchet becomes involved during striking. These mistakes can create unusual coins that collectors actively seek. One especially dramatic category is the dual planchet strike, where 2 planchets become involved in the striking process. A documented 2001 D quarter with this type of error sold for $1,375 at auction in 2015. That is an important example because it shows a difference between a normal quarter and a genuinely unusual, authenticated mint error. It does not mean every 2001 D quarter is worth $1,375. It means that a rare error, when properly identified and authenticated, can command a substantial premium. Another possibility is a missing clad layer error. Remember, a normal modern quarter has outer layers of copper nickel bonded to a copper core. If one of those outer layers is genuinely missing because of a manufacturing problem, the exposed copper can give the coin a dramatically different appearance. This is one reason a strange-looking copper-colored quarter deserves examination, but color alone is never enough to prove an error. And here's another important warning for every collector watching this video. Do not clean your 2001 D quarter. If you find an old, dirty, dark, or discolored coin, leave it exactly as you found it. Scrubbing, polishing, chemicals, or abrasive materials can permanently damage the surface and make authentication more difficult. A coin's original surface can be extremely important to its collector value. Now, let's talk about the question everybody wants answered. What is a 2001 D State quarter worth today? For a normal circulated example, the answer is usually very simple, about 25 cents. The coin is common enough that ordinary circulation pieces generally do not command huge premiums. Even uncirculated examples usually need exceptional grade, scarcity, or another special characteristic before their value becomes significant. Some certified high-grade pieces can bring much more than face value because condition becomes extremely difficult to maintain on coins that were produced in enormous quantities. And that is the secret behind many modern coin values. Rarity is not simply about age. A coin from 2001 can sometimes be more desirable than a much older coin if very few examples exist in a particular grade, or if the coin contains a genuine and dramatic mint error. So when you hold your 2001 D quarter, don't just look at the date. Look at everything. Examine Washington's portrait. Check the D mint mark. Study the lettering. Turn the coin over and inspect the state design. Look at the rim and edge. Check whether the coin appears unusually thin, unusually thick, dramatically off-center, or missing a legitimate portion of its clad layer. But be careful with online claims saying a dirty 2001 D quarter is automatically worth $1 million, $5 million, or even enough to make you a billionaire overnight. Those statements are not a reliable way to determine value. A coin's real market value depends on its exact identity, authenticity, condition, rarity, collector demand, and comparable sales. The United States produced huge numbers of 2001 D state quarters. For example, the Denver Mint produced 619,640,000 New York quarters, while 5 2001 designs each had substantial Denver production. That enormous supply is exactly why an ordinary circulated example isn't $1 million coin. But imagine finding one that is completely different from the millions of normal coins. Imagine a dramatic mint error, preserved in exceptional condition, with the date and mint mark clearly visible. Suddenly, you are no longer talking about ordinary pocket change. You are talking about a specialized collectible that may deserve professional examination. That is why I always say, don't spend first and investigate later. Investigate first. If your 2001 D quarter looks unusual, put it somewhere safe. Don't polish it. Don't scrape it. Don't drill it. Don't attempt a homemade silver test that could damage the coin. Take clear photographs. Weigh it carefully if you have a precise scale, and compare it with a normal quarter. For a potentially major error, professional authentication can make all the difference. And now you know the shocking truth about the 2001 D state quarter. It is not a secret silver dollar hiding inside every American coin jar. It is not automatically worth millions. But among the millions produced, unusual mint errors and exceptional specimens can be genuinely collectible and, in some cases, surprisingly valuable. So the next time a 2001 D quarter lands in your hand, don't immediately throw it into your spending money. Turn it over. Look closely. Ask questions. Because the real excitement of coin collecting isn't believing every unbelievable price you hear. It's discovering what makes one coin different from millions of others. This is USA Digital Old Coins. Keep your eyes open, keep your old coin safe, and remember one golden rule. Before you spend it, inspect it. Because sometimes the most fascinating treasure isn't hidden in a bank vault. Sometimes it's sitting quietly in your pocket. Next up, Tired and Flannel Coin. Welcome back to USA Digital Old Coins, where the smallest coins can carry some of the biggest stories in American history. Today, we are opening the case of a coin that may already be sitting inside your old collection, coin jar, drawer, pocket, the 2015 D state quarter. It may look dirty. It may look silver. It may have strange colors. It may even appear completely ordinary. But the question that has collectors looking twice is this. Could a 2015 D quarter actually be worth far more than its 25-cent face value? Before we go any further, let me tell you something extremely important. A normal 2015 D quarter is not a silver quarter, and an ordinary example is not automatically worth thousands or millions of dollars. The real excitement begins when we find a coin with an unusual mint error, an exceptional grade, or another characteristic that separates it from the enormous number of normal coins produced in 2015. That difference between an ordinary coin and an extraordinary coin is where the real collecting story begins. The letter D is one of the first things you should look for. That small letter tells you the quarter was struck at the Denver Mint. The 2015 quarters were part of the America, the Beautiful Quarters program, and 5 different designs were issued that year. They honored Homestead National Monument of America, Kisatchie National Forest, Blue Ridge Parkway, Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge, and Saratoga National Historical Park. These designs transformed the reverse of the quarter into miniature pieces of American history. Now look closely at the coin you have. Is it dirty? Is one side darker than the other? Does it appear copper-colored? Does it have a strange golden or silver shade? Don't make a decision based on color alone. Modern circulation quarters are clad coins, meaning they have layers of metal rather than being solid silver. Special 2015 silver-proof quarters did exist, but those were collector issues struck at San Francisco and carry the S-Mint mark, not the normal D-Mint mark of a Denver circulation quarter. So a silver-looking 2015 D quarter should be investigated, not automatically declared a silver coin. And this is where the story becomes much more interesting. Some 2015 quarters are known with genuine mint errors. One of the most dramatic possibilities is a missing clad layer. Imagine a quarter leaving the mint without one of its normal outer layers. Instead of the familiar silver-gray appearance, part of the coin can reveal the copper-colored core underneath. Suddenly, the coin looks completely different from an ordinary quarter. But remember, a copper-colored surface can also result from damage or environmental exposure, so authentication matters. Another fascinating possibility is an offsetter strike. During the minting process, the blank metal piece must be positioned correctly between the dies. If it isn't, the design can be struck away from a normal center. The result could be dramatic. Part of the coin may show a blank crescent, while the design appears shifted toward one side. The more dramatic and clearly identifiable the error, especially when the date remains visible, the more interesting it can become to collectors. There are also strike-through errors, double dies, clip planchets, die breaks, and wrong planchet errors. Each one tells a different story about something that went wrong during production. But there's a huge difference between a genuine mint error and damage that happened after the coin left the mint. A scratch made by a machine, a chemical stain, polishing, corrosion, or accidental bending is not the same thing as a manufacturing error. So what could your 2015 D quarter actually be worth? An ordinary circulated example is generally worth about 25 cents. Current collector market guides show that uncirculated examples can command more depending on their grade and specific design, while documented errors can bring substantially higher prices. One reported 2015 D Casacci quarter with a strike-through error brought about $230, while certain high-grade 2015 D pieces have also brought hundreds of dollars. Those figures belong to specific coins with specific characteristics. They do not mean every 2015 D quarter has that value. And now we reach the question everybody wants answered. Is a 2015 D state quarter worth millions of dollars? The honest answer is that you should not believe $1 million claim simply because somebody puts that number in a video title. There is no reason to assume that an ordinary 2015 D quarter is $1 million coin. In fact, billions of 2015 America, the beautiful quarters, were produced across the different designs, which means ordinary circulated examples are common. But don't let that discourage you. Coin collecting isn't about pretending every coin is a fortune. It is about finding the one unusual detail that millions of people overlook. A genuine mint error can turn an ordinary-looking quarter into a fascinating collectible, and an exceptional high-grade example can also attract serious collector attention. Now imagine finding a 2015 D quarter that looks completely different from every other quarter in your collection. Perhaps the design is dramatically off-center. Perhaps one side appears to be missing its outer layer. Perhaps the planchet is the wrong size or weight. Perhaps a striking error has created a feature that clearly could not have happened through normal circulation. That's when you stop treating it as pocket change. And here's the golden rule. Never clean the coin. If your 2015 D quarter is dirty, leave it dirty. Don't use silver polish. Don't scrape the surface. Don't rub it with chemicals. Don't try to make it shiny. Cleaning can permanently alter the original surface and potentially reduce collector value. Put the coin somewhere safe and examine it carefully under good lighting. You can also compare it with another normal 2015 D quarter of the same design. Look at the size, edge, thickness, weight, lettering, date, mint mark, and overall appearance. A precise scale can be useful because a normal clad quarter weighs approximately 5.67 grams. A significant difference can be a reason for further investigation, although weight alone cannot prove an error. The most important lesson is this. Don't confuse unusual appearance with rarity. A dark quarter isn't automatically rare. A golden quarter isn't automatically gold. A silver-colored quarter isn't automatically silver. A dirty quarter isn't automatically valuable. But a coin with a genuine minting error, exceptional condition, or an authenticated unusual characteristic can be a completely different story. So, what is the government's value of this coin today? The United States government gives a quarter its legal face value of 25 cents. Any additional collector value comes from the private numismatic market. That value can change depending on condition, rarity, demand, authentication, and actual sales. If somebody offers you a huge amount of money for a suspicious-looking 2015 D quarter, don't rush into a sale. First, find out exactly what you have. A professional coin dealer or reputable grading and authentication service can help determine whether the unusual feature is genuine. And remember this before you go searching through your old coins tonight. The 2015 D quarter is not a guaranteed million-dollar treasure. The real treasure is knowing how to recognize the rare exception hiding among ordinary coins. So take another look at that old 2015 D quarter. Check the date. Check the D. Study both sides. Examine the edge. Look for genuine mint-made abnormalities. And whatever you do, don't clean it before you know what it is. Because in the world of coin collecting, the biggest mistake isn't spending a normal quarter. The biggest mistake is overlooking something genuinely unusual because you thought it was just another piece of pocket change. This is USA Digital Old Coins. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep your eyes open. Because sometimes a coin that looks worthless at first glance is the coin that deserves a second look. See you in the next video.